Just 1 week ago, I was learning my first words in Japanese, and now I'm sitting in an airport swiping through flashcards hoping it'll be enough. It's my first time leaving the US, my first time using a new language, and my first time experiencing a culture so different from my own. On the one hand, I feel ready, but I'll soon realize I'm absolutely not. As I soon found out, everything from this point on would be different, and even the simplest of tasks would push me outside my comfort zone. In this video, you'll see what happens when I travel the country alone, my limited Japanese fails me, and I rely entirely on strangers to save me. But first, let me get you up to speed. My trip started in Tokyo because, well, it's Tokyo, but also my brother is currently living there. I hadn't seen him in over a year, so we spent a few days together before I went off on my own. And I wanted to try everything. Sensoji Temple, the Tokyo Skytree, Shibuya Crossing, there was so much to see I barely slept at all my first couple of days. I bought some cotton candy the size of my torso, a latte with my face on it, and I also ate these little octopuses. Octopi? I don't know, but it was definitely an experience. Everything from the food and shops to trains and views was so unique and fun, I can't say enough good things about Tokyo. Having someone else around eased a lot of anxiety I had about the trip, but it also made it feel more like a vacation. I wanted to immerse myself in Japanese culture, embrace discomfort, and honestly, just find out something about myself. And to do that, I needed to be alone. So after a short time together, I said goodbye, officially starting a trip that would change my life. Coffee. I know this sounds silly, but just ordering breakfast without confusion was a huge win for me. My first stop of the trip was Hakone, a city roughly 86 kilometers from Tokyo with a population of about 10,000 people. The cool thing about Japan is you can travel almost anywhere using their extensive rail system. The only problem is it's so extensive that with multiple transfers, it's easy to make a mistake. This has been a little bit hectic. It's my first time traveling alone on Japan rail system. I got off at the wrong stop, so I'm taking a bit of a detour. But everyone here has been super helpful, even if they don't know a lot of English and I don't know a lot of Japanese. We've been able to piece together what I need. Another thing is they have hot vending machines everywhere. So I'm sitting in the cold rain right now. I just grabbed a hot coffee, which is really awesome. Hakone is famous for its hot springs and also its breathtaking views of Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, it didn't look like I'd see it today, but during my train ride through the mountains, it started to snow, which was a pretty magical experience. But it also led to the first big problem of the trip. I got off my train and started waiting for a bus to take me to my hotel, but after standing there for a bit, someone comes up to me and says, "It isn't coming." Apparently the bus I need to get to my hotel is no longer running. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I check Uber, there aren't any Ubers. I check Lyft, there aren't any Lyfts. I started to get a little nervous, but on Google Maps it just showed they use different apps in Japan. The first one was Didi. I made an account, put in my credit card, can't find a ride. So I download the next one called Go, and it says it'll find me a ride in 13 minutes. 30 minutes goes by and there's no sign of finding a driver, so I just start walking and hope it'll find one on the way. The route to my hotel is entirely uphill, there's snow and slush everywhere. I'm pulling a suitcase, and within 5 minutes, I'm out of breath. My phone is running out of battery, my hands are numb, and there's no sign of finding a driver. I really just didn't know what to do. I must have looked pretty clueless because I start walking again, and two angels come up to me who speak fluent English. We start talking, and they end up bringing me back to their hotel. They're clearly much better at Japanese than me, so they explain my situation to a worker. Right away makes me a cup of tea, which was so nice. He gets on the phone and starts talking, and within about 15 minutes, someone comes and picks me up. I still don't know if it was his hotel or my hotel or just someone he knew, but a car shows up and I hop in. I honestly don't know if I would have made it on foot. I would have been dragging luggage uphill through the snow, but thanks to the sheer kindness of these people, I eventually made it to my hotel. The only word I can think to use right now is grateful. So many things went wrong today. I would not have made it here without the help of so many people, so many kind people. Things didn't go according to plan, but I'm not complaining. I had to scrap everything I had planned for the day, but I was so relieved to just have a place to sleep for the night. I was totally content just relaxing. I think I did this right. I did check off one thing on my list though, which was experiencing the hotel's onsen, which is a Japanese hot spring. If you didn't know, hot springs are full nude, so for obvious reasons, I don't have any footage. That might have been the hottest water I've ever been in, but super relaxing after today. You would think that at this point the day is over, the adventure is done, nothing else eventful happens. You would think that. You would be wrong. When I booked the hotel, I thought I saw something about dinner. I hadn't eaten lunch, so I go up to the front desk and say something like, "Sumimasen, yoru gohan?" I want to make this clear, I am the tourist. This is 100% on me. But I was not proficient enough to fully follow the conversation. At one point, I end up pulling out Google Translate on my phone. But I understand that she ordered me dinner and I should go outside in about 10 minutes to grab it. 10 minutes go by, I head to the car, a man opens the door. There is no food. I literally motioned to myself to make sure he wanted me to get in, and it turned out they weren't bringing me food, they were bringing me to the food. I felt bad, I would have never asked them to do that. At dinner, my waiter even explained to me how to eat the food because I didn't know how. But 10 out of 10, one of the best meals of the trip. Arigatou gozaimasu. Literally nothing today went according to plan. I couldn't have gotten through the day on my own. I had so many questions and issues and things weren't working. I've never felt so nervous, uncomfortable, and just helpless trying to do basic things. I'm normally good in these sort of situations, but I was stressed and I just couldn't figure things out. I just can't believe how much people were willing to work with me and help me and go out of their way to make me feel comfortable, to get me what I need, to help me understand. The people here are so nice. It'd only been a day, but I was starting to get a taste for what it'd be like on my own. I've always been a pretty independent person who'd rather struggle alone than ask for help, but I was coming to terms with the fact that that wouldn't work here. It was something I kept in mind as I started my journey to Kyoto. Sumimasen, Kipu Shinkansen?
Shinkansen ticket is does say the correct.
Hey, arigatou gozaimasu. Oh my goodness, traveling here has been an adventure. Even though Hakone was a little bit of a bust, I do want to see at least one of the things I came here for, which is Odawara Castle. So I'm going to try to get to there, get breakfast, and still make my train. Alright, side quest complete. My train leaves in 20 minutes. Kyoto? Next?
Yes.
I almost got on the wrong train, but with a little help, everything went well. This was my first time riding a bullet train, and man, I wish we had these in the US. You can buy a ticket up to the minute the train arrives. There's no security or baggage check. The whole process is super efficient. I believe my train topped out at about 200 miles per hour, and to get to Kyoto, it only took about 2 hours. I got to brush up on my flashcards, which was nice, and overall just enjoy the ride. Finally, things are starting to go my way. So my first stop is going to be Fushi Inari Shrine, and I'm going to see if I can find something quick to eat on the way. Don't really need to sit down. I just want to make up for lost time yesterday. Fushi Inari Shrine is famous for having thousands of these orange torii gates, and was definitely my favorite area of the trip so far. There was something freeing just experiencing the unknown by myself. Without the distraction of my phone or unrelated conversations, I felt like I could soak in every detail, every piece of architecture, and to be honest, I never felt alone. I did feel out of shape though.
This hike is kicking my butt right now.
Going into this trip, I ignorantly thought if I studied for a week and had access to the internet, I'd be able to do everything myself. But that just wasn't the case. I felt like a child, the knowledge gap was way too big, and I was forced to set aside my pride and rely on the people around me. It was incredibly humbling to laugh at myself, make mistakes, and admit to complete strangers I couldn't do basic things on my own. But I didn't have to. I needed help, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the next video, I'll explore some more cities, hang out with monkeys, try to make a friend, and stay in one of the most unique hotels of my life.